welcome to the first of many forums held by the Lynchburg and Jefferson area Tea Parties. Welcome to the Lane Auditorium.
But we have to remember, that's what we're up here about. We want to beat Tom Perriello in November, and we want to bring that seat back to the 5th District. We want to take it away from Nancy Pelosi and people like that. Now, I want to tell you why I think I'm the right candidate for that. This is not a new venue to me. This is a familiar place to me. For the last 10 years, I've been sitting up here at this dais protecting the constitutional rights of the people of Albemarle County. Now, a lot of people here from other areas, they wouldn't know that. But I didn't win this race by not being a strong conservative candidate. In fact, the race that I won was held for 12 years prior to my winning it by a very liberal Democrat. And I took that seat, and I've been in it for the last 6 years. And I've won 2 elections. I didn't come by it easy because those elections were very contested by strong Democrat candidates that I ran against. And when I got here, I didn't go back on the promises that I made to the people who got me elected because I stood against a very liberal board. If you know about Albemarle County, you know it's not known for its conservatives. And for many years, it was a 5-1 vote, with me being the one vote who had to go against the liberals who are up here and sit up at this dais with me on a regular basis. I think another one, and probably is the key to everything that we do almost anywhere, and that is to have a balanced budget. We need somebody in Washington who's willing to step up, cut spending, and have a balanced budget. And I think that's something that can be done. I've done it here in Albemarle County. We've balanced our budget every year that I've been on the Board of Supervisors. We've actually reduced spending by $30 million last year. And if you can do it here in Albemarle County, we can do it in the federal government. So that's another thing. The other thing that I'd like to mention, I think we ought to do away with, that don't believe is authorized under the Constitution, is the Department of Education. The Federal Department of Education should be done away with. We should throw out anything that they have and totally start over again with any kind of health reform that we want to have in this country. I know a little something about medical savings accounts. I've been selling those accounts. It's been a part of my business for a long time, so I understand how they work. And I didn't get time to finish my remarks, in my opening remarks, but one of the things I wanted to say is that I'm not just talking about these things, I'm legislating these things right now, and I have been for the last 10 years. Just recently, I brought up to the Board of Supervisors, an employer of 2,600 people, that we need to move away from an employer-based system and go to a consumer-based system, as was just mentioned. And the way we do that is the self-insurance we're putting in a single pool managed by the county. We need to move out there to the people and let them negotiate for their own health care. That's just one step in the right direction. I think we have to get control of spending. We certainly have to cut taxes. And the biggest thing that I would do is to move control of the United States of America back to the people instead of it being controlled by a bunch of people in Washington, D.C. I simply would say we need to get out of the way of the free enterprise system. That's the thing that made this country great. We need to get back to that. We need to reduce the taxes on our corporate citizens and let the citizens and the private enterprise build the jobs. Government doesn't build jobs. They're not responsible for jobs. It's people and small businesses that build these jobs. If we give them a hand by getting out of their way, they'll take care of the problem for us. I think everybody in this room would probably agree that we need to be good stewards of our environment, and everybody wants that to happen, but this cap and trade bill is not being good stewards of our environment. A lot of it is built on science that is not accurate, that says that the United States can, or that man can control the weather, and I think that's something that we absolutely do not need. I think it will be a job killer in this country if we ever passed anything like that, and we need to stay away from it. We can be good stewards of our environment without going to such extremes as to ruin our economy. You know, I said in my opening remarks that I'm not new to this. I've been legislating in this county for close to 10 years now, almost a little over 10 years actually. And during that time, there was many times that I was faced with votes that I mentioned earlier, where I was the only person, the only conservative on this board who was willing to stand up for people's property rights, in one case for their Second Amendment rights, and I've always voted that way. And I didn't worry about winning elections or what was going to happen to me the next time out there because I have core principles that I've always stood behind and I've always voted my conscience that way. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is that if I was in Congress and when I'm in Congress, you will not just see someone who is talking the talk up here, but somebody who's had a record, who's stood up to liberal, actually persecution you might call it. And I know there's people in this room that have sat here and watched my colleagues at this table up here just go after me with a vengeance about how terrible I was because I wanted to cut spending or cut the budget, and how that was going to put school children at risk and libraries out of business and things like that. and yet I held to those principles. A lot of times I was the only person that did that, but that's the way I would, that's my principled approach to governance and the way I would be in Congress the same way.